Hello, race fans. My name is Taylor, and welcome back to Above the Yellow Line, the show where we talk all about the NASCAR Cup Series. And I'm supposed to be on a break for education. I know this. I very much am, and I'm still very, very busy. But if you're like me, you woke up this morning, you looked on Twitter, social media, wherever you get your NASCAR news. Major silly season dominoes dropped this morning before 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I could not make a video about this. As you can see, we got Team Penske, we got Ford, we got Brad Keselowski, Matt Benedetto cars in the background. We're talking about major dominoes falling at Team Penske, probably the most pivotal dominoes to fall in the silly season discussion, as it's a major team getting a major driver changeup for next season. So I'm going to lay out the news for you right now, and then we're going to break it down. We have Brad Keselowski leaving the 2 car. He put out this statement here talking about the next step in his career. I believe it's important to note here that Brad did not specifically say his next steps. Of course, we can assume that it's at Roush Fenway Racing, but I think he's not announcing it now out of respect for his team, as they still try to look for a championship, and for Team Penske as they make this change next season. But it is confirmed that Brad Keselowski is leaving the 2 car and going somewhere next season, which I'm pretty sure, like I said, is Roush Fenway Racing for a driver's seat and a part-time ownership deal with that team. Now, another news, who's going to take over the 2 car? Well, we knew that Austin Cindric was supposed to move to the Penske camp after this season with Team Penske in the 22 car for the Xfinity Series. We knew he was supposed to move up to either the Wood Brothers 21, or when Brad announced that he was potentially leaving, it was speculated that Austin Cindric would take over the 2 car. That is now, as of this morning, confirmed that Austin Cindric is moving into the 2 car at Team Penske. I think he is the perfect guy to take that role. I think he does have big shoes to fill with Brad Keselowski, but yet again, I think he's the guy to do it. Of all the prospects that you could have chosen, I think Austin Cindric is the perfect one. He shows that he can do very, very well in the Cup Series when he's driving for Team Penske in their uncharted car. He's shown that he can race really well, especially at road courses. My goodness, like he's done incredibly, incredibly good at road courses, and whenever he's in their backup or their 4th car for the weekend. So we knew that it was going to be Austin Cindric in a Penske car. We now know that he's going to be in the number 2. Which leaves the final piece of breaking news here. The 21 car has an empty seat because Matt Benedetto confirmed today is not going to be in the 21 car next season. I am devastated because I love Matt, but we have a bit of a shakeup here. We have a driver leaving a manufacturer and going to the Ford camp, Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton was announced today that he is going to be taking over the famed Wood Brothers 21 car in 2022. With Toyota, there are 5 crucial seats available in the Cup Series. There are a little bit more than that. It's maybe 1 or 2 more rides available in the Cup Series for Toyota, but we're going to talk about the 5 main ones here. We have Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and then we have Denny Hamlin. They're 3 veterans. Then we have young gun Christopher Bell, all making up the Joe Gibbs Racing camp. And then we have Bubba Wallace in the 2311 Racing car. Of course, they're looking to add another car to their charter, add another car to their team. That is to be determined, though. We don't know how that's going to work out. But that being said, young prospects starting off at the Toyota camp when they start their careers in NASCAR. Moving up the ranks, there is not a spot to put them. So a lot of young drivers are forced to change manufacturers. We saw this with Hailie Deegan. Notably, I want to talk about William Byron, who started off at Kyle Busch Motorsports in a Toyota, of course, moved to the Xfinity Series to Junior Motorsports and won a championship. We also saw this negatively with Eric Jones, who was moved out of the 20 to make room for Christopher Bell, and now he's in the Richard Petty Motorsports Chevrolet. So we see that happening. And of course, Harrison Burton moving to the Ford camp, moving manufacturers, isn't surprising to me that he had to make a change. I figured for him to move up, he would have to make a change. I just did not expect it to be with Wood Brothers Racing, which begs the question, is it a good fit? And I'm going to be honest. Yes, he is a very talented driver. He, in his rookie season in the Xfinity Series, won several races. That is very, very impressive. He has very impressive stats to go with that. This season has been a little off for him, but I feel a win coming for him very, very soon. He has not won yet. However, I'm a little on edge if this is a good decision or not. Now, I did listen to an interview. I looked on Bob Pockrass's Twitter page, an interview with the co-owner of the Wood Brothers Racing team. They talked about why they made this move. Why not keep Matt Benedetto in the seat? Why bring another rookie driver in? And that's basically the reason is they want to bring a rookie driver in at Wood Brothers to work alongside Austin Cindric. It's usually kind of like going into your first day of class at school. It's easier when you go in with a friend than it is walking in by yourself. It's daunting. It's scary. the same mentality there. They can work together, they can learn together, they can grow together. Now, obviously, Austin Cindric has more experience in a Cup car as he's been in the Penske number 33 on the weekends, some weekends for the Cup Series and the uncharted ride. So we can share some expertise, and we all know Austin Cindric is a very good driver in that series, as I've already mentioned. So they can team up a little bit there. I think that's a good move for them. But that also means, what does this mean for Matt DiBenedetto? I am very excited to see Harrison Burton and what he can do in that famed 21 car at the Wood Brothers Racing team. But let's talk about Matt right now. We don't know where Matt's going to end up in 2022. And if we speculate with some open cup rides here, there's not a lot. The silly season is crazy, and it's hard to figure out who's going where and who's doing what when there's still a lot of unknowns. We know that Trackhouse Racing acquired the team, Chip Ganassi Racing's team, and they have an open charter now using one of Chip Ganassi's charters for Daniel Suarez, and the other one is for an unnamed driver. I don't think Matt's going to end up there, as they stated many times in their interview when they announced this for Trackhouse Racing, that they have a vision, and I don't know what their vision is, and I don't know if Matt fits that, but that seat is open. That means Ross Chastain doesn't have a ride. I don't think he's going to end up at Trackhouse either, so he's trying to find a spot. Kurt Busch doesn't have a spot, though. I think he's going to end up at 2311 Racing. I think it would be an excellent pairing of popular drivers if Matt moved over to 2311 Racing with Bubba Wallace, but I don't see that likely. Roush Fenway Racing is another option, but yet again, they're trying to juggle Brad Keselowski most likely and probably moving into their camp, trying to figure out a ride for him with Ryan Newman and Chris Buescher. There is a lot of unknowns there. We also have GMS trying to move into the Cup Series. We have Kaulig Racing with a Cup Series schedule, a full-time and a part-time ride, and probably Kaz Grala doing the second half of the part-time ride with AJ Allmendinger. So the Cup Series right now is looking very full, which does not look good for Matt DiBenedetto. And of course, I want him to continue with the Cup Series. I am a major Matt DiBenedetto fan. I think he's a great driver, a great person. Unfortunately, though, when you don't have the stats and the wins to back up your driving skills, that top tier ride at Wood Brothers Racing is going to be taken away to another driver that can fill it with more potential. That said, Cup Series, we're going to clean that off the slate right now. I hope, like I said, I hope, of course, Matt gets a ride there. Well, let's move down to the Xfinity Series. Now, it is not announced yet who's going to be driving the 22 for Penske in the Xfinity Series. Right now, Austin Cindric, of course, leaving that ride, going to the number 2 at Penske, as we discussed in the Cup Series. So potentially Matt DiBenedetto moves down to the Xfinity Series in the Penske number 22. I think he could have success there. It is a top tier ride still in a smaller series, and maybe not a smaller series, but in a series that, you know, is another step down from the NASCAR Cup Series. That is a potential. If we move down even farther to the Truck Series, I'm not sure where Matt could find a ride there, though I know that might be a good option for him. We've seen John Hunter Nemechek moving from the Cup Series all the way down to the Truck Series and having enormous success with Kyle Busch Motorsports, as he is there right now, winning several times already this season. It goes to prove what he can do, what he's made of, and that he can win in good equipment. That might be the move for Matt, because like I said, he needs to prove that he can win. He needs to prove that he has the stats to back up his name. And of course, he has had success in the Cup Series, but not enough to propel him to a top tier ride. But that is all I have for you all today. A lot of breaking news, a lot of speculation. Let me know in the comments below what you think of all this, what you think of Brad Keselowski leaving Penske, where you think Matt DiBenedetto could end up. There's probably an option out there that I haven't even thought of, and I'm so curious to hear what you all have to say about that. But that is all. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Above the Yellow Line, the show where we talk all about the NASCAR Cup Series. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, supporting me while I take some time off for academics. Of course, this was a surprise video today, but had to happen because of all the silly season news dropping today. And of course, we'll probably be dropping now in the next few weeks, because with dominoes, as you know, when you knock one over, the rest start to fall. So hopefully we get more silly season news, putting some puzzle pieces in place in the next few weeks. Thank you all so much again for supporting the channel and Above the Yellow Line. And until next time, I'll see ya.